Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, standing at 5 foot 10 inches tall, 170 pounds. He's a two-time high school state wrestling champion, a two-time college NCAA champion. He was an Olympian. He's 19-0 in his mixed martial arts career. Ladies and gentlemen, Funky Ben Askren.
Woo! That was a hell of an introduction.
Hey, man, I try my best. You fighters get all that shit to happen for you. I think you deserved it.
Appreciate that.
Okay, Ben.
Hey, you know, it's not quite as good as Bruce Buffer. You know Bruce Buffer, he's legendary status on introduction.
Fucking Bet's good, by the way. I am okay with going head-to-head with the Buffer family. They just make a lot more money for those pipes. Hey, okay, Ben, I've been reading up on you. So the way this all came to be, somebody tweeted, they're like, hey, you need to have Ben Askren on the show. Is it Askren?
Yeah.
Askren.
Askren, yep.
Okay, good. You need to have Ben Askren on the show. Then it started getting some real action in my mentions, and I was like, okay. So I said, hey, let's do this. You responded, and you have over 100,000 followers on the Twitter. Your first UFC fight was just a week ago. In my head, I started doing numbers. I'm like, this dude must be a fucking legend on the internet if he's got over 100,000 and his first fight just happened. So
I'm at 175 as of this morning, I think.
That's incredible. And most people in the MMA world would assume that the only way you can do that is if you go through the UFC, if you get a good push from somebody. Your first fight was literally just a week ago, and there's a lot of fucking controversy around you. Once I started doing some research, why does Dana White hate you? Why is this a thing?
Man, that's a great question. I've been wondering this myself for many years now, and the guy still hasn't taken the time to sit down with me and get on the same page or explain that he doesn't hate me or why he hates me. I don't really get my feathers ruffled too easily, but I do like to know why things happen, and I don't know this one.
Okay, so you're 19-0 with a no contest, which I don't know all the details. It means it's when Matreon kicks a guy in the balls. Basically, that's my only reference to it. Accidentally, the guy lowered his level.
Yep.
Lowered his level. I guess that's the term.
Yep.
I'm learning a lot about this. But I figured in the fighting world, if you're a guy who can fight good, the biggest fight company on earth would want you fighting for them. UFC seems to be the NFL, the WWE, the MLB for fighting. How long has it been that you've sensed like Dana White doesn't like you? That's why you're not getting the call up. Like, how does that whole thing start? How does that come to be?
Well, so really there was only one, twice in my career, really. So in 2013, I finished up my contract with Bellator, who essentially was at that point the number 2 in the world. I was their champion for 3.5 years. I was 12-0 at that point, and I was ranked number 7 in the world. And I went up for free agency. And the UFC said they're interested, and I got my release, and they said, we're not interested. So they pretty much screwed me over. Bad. So I found my way over to an organization called One Championship in Asia, they were kind of in their infancy, and now they're probably the second biggest in the world. I spent 4 years there. I was their champion for 3.5 years. I was undefeated the entire time. And on November 24th, 2017, I decided, hey, man, I'm done. I had enough. I'm retired. I retired. I was done. Never having my opportunity at UFC. In October, I got a call from the CEO of One Championship that said, how about we trade you to UFC? Oh. And this isn't football or baseball. This has literally never happened. This has never happened one time. This is not in existence. And I said, well, I mean, I'm up for it if you could do that, if that's even legal. And they traded me. The first trade ever in the history of mixed martial arts. I got traded to UFC. And like you said, I just had my first fight 3-4 days ago.
Well, you won. A lot of question around it. Lawler's right arm definitely looked limp there for a second. Yeah. You can understand why the ref stopped it. The ref's name is, what's his name?
Herb Dean?
Herb Dean, yeah. Herb
Dean, yep.
A lot of people came after Herb Dean. Herb did not deserve that.
He's a professional.
Herb's a fucking professional. He did not deserve that.
Yeah.
You've come out and said that you're not interested in a rematch with Robbie Lawler. You have said all these things, and your record proves, by the way, that you should be as confident as ever. I mean, from all the way back to being a high school wrestling standout. What is next for you? What would be the right move for Ben Askren? What are you looking for?
Sure. I mean, the main reason I'm not interested in the rematch is I wasn't really interested in the fight in the first place. Man, I came out blazing when I got traded to the UFC. I think I called out 8 of the top 10 guys in the UFC. And one of the only ones I didn't call up was Robbie Lawler because I like him. He's a good dude. I got nothing bad to say about him. And they forced me to fight him anyways. So I said, okay, whatever. But now it's like, hey, I've been there, done that. I didn't want to fight him in the first place. There's not really another. If I beat him again, it doesn't really do anything for me. So I might as well go on and fight someone else. So here's the deal. I'm flying to London next Wednesday night. There's a fight between a guy named Darren Till, who's ranked number 2, and George Masvidal, who's ranked number 8. That's next Saturday in London, and I figure I'm going to beat up the winner of that one.
How does it feel to be able to say that what you just said there, like with full confidence? I've never experienced that in my life. Just being like, all right.
Really? I mean, I'm sure you can look at someone in your room right now and say you beat them up, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's for real. But it's not like saying, you know what, these two dudes are going to human cockfight over in London, and then I'm just going to beat up whoever wins. Congratulations, whoever wins that fight. You got a chance to get your ass kicked by funky Ben Askren now. That's how you really feel.
No, that's how I feel. I mean, but this is what we do for a living, right? I've trained my whole life. Wrestling is not fighting, but it's pretty darn close. You get in there and you go armed combat with someone every day, and then, since 2009, I've been training for fighting. That's just that's just what I do. I've had a lot of success, and yeah, I feel very. I mean, honestly, Robbie was in the top 10. If you look at the top 10, besides my good friend Tyron Woodley, Robbie's my hardest matchup. Darren Till, that's an easy night in the park.
Why is that? Because the ground and pound situation? Is that why he's not good on the ground?
He's from the United Kingdom. They can't wrestle worth a damn. They can't. They're terrible. They can't wrestle. I'll take them down too easy.
I want to let you know this is an international show, so what you're saying will echo and ring true over in the UK. Were you a fighter in high school?
No, I never. There's only one person I've ever punched outside of when I get paid for it in my life. That was a college teammate. And no, I never really fought. I mean, I just sort of wrestled my whole life, but I'm not like angry. I feel like people who get in a fight at a bar, you got to be kind of angry. You got to have a little chip on your shoulder and hostilities. And I mean, I never felt that way. I never felt the need to beat up some random stranger.
You say you're not angry. That's been what's been so intriguing to me, meeting all you MMA people. I mean, if you listen to Joe Rogan, he's one of the most deep human beings mentally that you've ever been around. Now, he'll say it's obviously because of the DMT and shit like that, but like Matreon, the same exact way. Like, he's a very deep thinker, well thought out, everything he says. Chris Lytle, even the same exact way. You people that get into, and I mean it, you motherfucking people who get into a cage and get into a ring, like, there has to be something off or special with your brain. Am I correct in saying that?
I think that, I wouldn't say everyone, because we got a lot of dum-dums in this sport. That's true. That's a fact. But I think there's something about getting in a fight that gives you a little bit of wisdom. Let you know a little more about yourself, and especially if you're willing to look inwardly about your experiences in fighting. And, I may be 19 on the cage, but especially we talk about my wrestling career coming up, and just in the practice, I got my ass kicked all the time. And it's like, for football, this is what I do with college athletics. In sports football, hey man, if you can't make a starting team in football, they say, hey buddy, go sit on the bench. You get some nice gear. You tell the girls you're on the football team. You probably get laid a few times. If you're a backup on the wrestling team, you just go and get your ass kicked every single day, and that teaches you a hard lesson.
I could imagine that. I mean, that is an insane thought, though. I never even thought about being a backup wrestler in a collegiate, because you're just a body. You're just a body for whoever.
A body. That's it.
Oh my God, good for you, man. Just getting your fucking dick kicked in.
Like that, think about that. You're the backup lineman. You probably go to the bar. Chicks are all over you. You're the backup 133 pounder. They don't give a damn.
You're not a boring wrestling fighter, though. I think that is something that's been interesting, because I watch in Bellator, a place that you were, they're double champ over there,
Bader.
Brian Bader. That fight he had with Matreon was the most boring fight I've ever seen in my entire life. Fans were actually booing. Now, granted, I don't take anything away from the ability.
Did Matreon play with you?
No, Matreon is from Indy, though. He literally passes out in our office like once a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
But you're an entertaining wrestling fighter, though. I mean, you are like an entertaining guy. What can stop you? Is there anybody that can stop you in the UFC, or do you feel right now you're top of the game? You're just a volcano waiting to erupt in the UFC people's eye. Yeah.
I'd say that's what I feel like right now. I mean, honestly, my toughest fight was, me and Tyler Woodley, the guy who he just lost the championship, actually. He was my college wrestling teammate. We've been close since I've been 17 years old. So there's this thing where, hey, we weren't going to fight each other, and that's my worst matchup. And we're not going to fight each other. So I don't really, I'm not ever going to experience that. And so now the guys, when I look at the division, Robbie was my toughest matchup, and now I look at it like Darren Till. I think that's no problem. I think Marty Usman, that's no problem. So yeah, I'm like I think of a volcano waiting to erupt.
I can't wait.
Use your word.
All right, well, let's get away from fighting other humans real quick and talk about you banging chains. I got showed a video.
Oh, please tell me you guys play disc golf.
Oh yeah. No, I don't play it, fucking Ben. I play real sports. You know that. But I heard we have a guy in here who is a disc golfer, and then we looked on the internet and saw some videos of you playing. You were like elite level disc golfer.
One of the best in the country.
Yeah, I took second at amateur nationals and then ninth at amateur world twice. One time I played in Indiana and I got my car robbed, or Indianapolis and I got my car robbed. I avoid that area now, like the plague.
How do you get into that?
Go ahead.
How do you get into disc golf? You got to be are you from like a hippie family? Like, how does that happen?
I didn't play much in I played like twice in high school, and a bunch of my college wrestling teammates played, and I just went out there, and then I got this like bizarrely obsessive personality that I want to be the best at everything. So then I bought a basket and I put it in my yard and I just putted and putted and putted, and then I played in the tournament, and then I got pissed. I freaking lost at the tournament, and so then I just wanted to beat everybody, and I practiced a lot, and I didn't win. I almost won. I was one stroke away from winning the amateur nationals, which was my goal. I know, right? I blew it.
Do you ever play? What's that other one where they play the football with the ultimate frisbee?
Ultimate.
That's too much running, man. I work out for a living. You got to run a lot. You got to run and run and run.
When I asked you when we were DMing each other, you said you have a vast amount of subjects you could conversate about. What is something that you enjoy that nobody would guess that one of the greatest human cockfighters is into?
That no one would guess. You know what? I try to like put my whole life out there, especially with social media now, so I don't feel like there's anything that's too surprising. I read a lot. I love to travel. I've been to all 50 states. I've been to every national park in the lower 48. Played 750 disc golf courses.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see, what else? I'm building a disc golf course on my property.
Oh, my
Yeah, I got a lot of
property.
stuff going on.
Jesus Christ. I forgot you already retired. I forgot he already had a full career. What part of Asia is that Japan?
Well, I fought most of the companies located out of Singapore, but I fought in Singapore, Manila, Dubai, and Shanghai.
Okay, so wrestling over there from the professional wrestling world, it's insane. The loyalty, they treat the wrestlers as if they're old-day gladiators. I'm assuming it's the same thing for mixed martial artist fighters and stuff like that? You get treated like a king over there?
Yeah. I mean, they treated us really, really, really well. And then, man, by the time I was done with one championship, I said when I started, they were kind of in the infancy, and by the time I was done, man, it was bizarre because you're from America, and you go over there and you walk down the street and everybody knows your name. It's a really, really weird feeling.
How'd you handle that? Because there's no way they spoke your language, so they just knew funky Ben Askren.
Singapore, they speak English. It's perfect. But I hid my hotel room so I could be antisocial at times.
You fucking do. I see him just sitting in some Asian hotel with a fucking frisbee and like a little trash can.
They don't have disc golf over there, unfortunately.
Do you rock climb?
Terrible.
If you've been to every national park, do you rock climb, hike? What do you do there? You just drive through and say, "Well, I've been here."
I've rock climbed before, not a huge amount. My wife used to. Hiking, camping, seeing the sights. You know what? I guess now we're going deep, but I guess I would say my favorite thing about the national parks is when, like, I'll just give you a great example. How many trees you've seen in your life, right? You've seen like 1 million trees, and then you go to redwoods, and you're like, holy shit, they made trees like that? I've never seen a tree like that. And it's like the biggest thing you've ever seen in your life. That's what I like.
You like being surprised by things.
Yeah, have you guys been to redwoods? Because you like the feeling of awe when you see the
Drive a
redwood,
car through.
It's just like, good God.
I actually had a dealer who told me that he had a redwood strain, and I smoked it, and that thing, fucking monster. He's like, just that redwood. And I was like, all right, I'll get it. I'm in with it. It was overpriced, I think, but it made me feel like I was in the forest for a while. How much longer are you going to fight for?
I was in retirement last year. I just came out. I don't know. I don't got too much longer left in me. I never wanted to fight, till I was really old. So I don't know, a year, 2 years. I guess we'll take it fight by fight at this point.
How old are you? I should probably have known this.
34.
Holy shit. So you've lived. If you've already retired, lived in Asia, 34 years old. What's next for you after fighting? Let's assume your volcano erupts, okay? You are just oozing all over everything for the next couple years. Champion on a hell of a run. Everything's perfect. Massive amounts of cash, endorsement deals, post-fight parties. People show up at them and have a good time. They're not just at the club just to be there.
Are you guys going to come to my post-fight party?
Yes. Yeah, I want to let you know, funky shit's going to get real funky and weird now. I'm on my way, Ben. What is the next?
I'm going to push for fight in Chicago, so that's not going to be too far from you guys.
Nice.
Hey,
Great. As far as my future, my brother and I own 3 wrestling academies in Wisconsin, and we coach kids, and it's a blast, and I love it because I get to, I get to see there's too many people in the world that tell kids they suck and they can't be something, and so we get to help them learn to achieve. I mean, I can tell you guys, and I don't know if you guys had the same experience in sport, but in wrestling, I learned, hey, if I work hard, I can be good and I can achieve something, and that's like kind of carried over to the rest of my life. And I love that feeling, and I love when I see it click with kids, and they think, oh my gosh, I just did this. I never thought I could win a state title or get a college scholarship or whatever it is. So I love that part of it, and that's probably what I'll do for the rest of my life.
See, I'm really confused on why Dana White doesn't like you. I thought you must have been like a shit bum. I thought there must have been like some arrests or some terrible attitude. It doesn't sound like
I've never been arrested.
That doesn't sound like it at all.
Don't have any side pieces. Never missed weight. Never failed a drug test. I don't know what the problem is.
It might be. I Googled your name, and the first picture that pops up is quite possibly the ugliest yellow singlet of all time from Missouri. And maybe that's it.
Why are you hating on Missouri?
I'm not huge Tiger fan. It's just the yellow singlet.
He's thinking Dana. He's speaking for Dana.
I'm speaking for Dana, not for myself.
Oh, for Dana. It's gold. I think Missouri calls that gold.
It's more like mustard, maybe brown mustard.
Hey, where was the Olympics at when you were on the Olympic team?
Beijing, China.
Oh, so were you already a hero over at that point, or were you just getting started? You weren't even started yet because 2009 you started fighting.
Yeah, I hadn't fought to that point. I won 2 college national titles, and I made the Olympic team, and then I didn't do very well at the Olympics, so I said I'm done with this, and I'm going to go fight and see how that goes.
Okay, so was that the pivot point for you to get into fighting? Was after the Olympics? Because your teammate on that team was Daniel Cormier, right?
And Henry Cejudo. So two of my teammates are now UFC champions, and they actually occupy 3 of the belts because Daniel had both the 205 and the heavyweight. And Henry's I think he might be bumping up. I don't know this, but I think he might be bumping up to try to take on Dillashaw because remember right, TJ Dillashaw came down to try to take Henry's belt. Henry beat him up.
Oh, of course. Of course. I don't know that. Ben, I had no fucking idea right there.
Ben, how heavy would you fight? What's the heaviest you would go to fight?
What'd you say?
How heavy would you fight? Would you move up if the right matchup presented itself?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm going to move up because I haven't fought anyone at 170. I'm brand new to the company, and that's part of the magic is that I haven't fought anybody. So everyone's a potential target on my list.
Okay, let's talk about your weight loss strategy for weigh-ins. We had a weight loss challenge here for 1 month where we saw humans lose. How much weight did you lose?
Like 46 pounds.
46 pounds in 1 month.
Damn.
Yeah. Wait, it was disgusting. I mean, these people were anorexic, bulimic. They weren't eating anything for an entire month. There was $9,999.99 for tax purposes on the line, and the boys really committed. How much weight did you lose, Zito?
Like 49, I think.
49 pounds.
Oh my God.
Except not because you lost to me.
Well, yeah, it was by
It's
percentage.
Oh, yeah, that's right, body
percentage.
percentage.
Yeah, I mean, Todd,
I
you
got
won.
greedy.
Congratulations.
Fucking just came across the room.
But Zito did this warm bath, hot bath, I guess, like the night
Yeah.
before. Yeah. Is that something that's just a known tactic? Because Matreon told him about that. What is
Well,
the
so-
one? Yeah.
Yeah, the part that everyone misses when they're thinking of weight loss, and because it doesn't make sense to do it for long term, but if there was a weigh-in, right, which you're fighting there, and you're kind of, you lose the water weight. I mean, for example, on Friday morning, I weighed in 170 and a half pounds, and on Saturday night, I fought at 188 pounds. So I sweated. I essentially sweated off all of that weight. There's a lot of different ways you can sweat. A hot bath is one way. A sauna. You can put some warm clothes on and go running. But yeah, you'd be shocked how much you can sweat off, especially if you're a big person.
That's so much.
So is that not? I'm not
Unhealthy?
Well, definitely unhealthy. But do you look like Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club when you're like going in to weigh in? Like, are you?
Yeah. Yes, a lot of them do. Yeah. You look at their face when they're really bad. You can see their face, and their face is all sucked in and shit. Yeah, definitely, it looks rough.
Oh my God.
What's your after fight meal? Like, what do you celebrate
Oh
with?
yeah.
You know who'd be a good one to look at? If you want to see a good example, look at Conor McGregor when he used to make 145 pounds. His cheekbones are sticking out excessively. His eyes look kind of like sunken back into his head. That would be a good one, like for you guys to see what a face looks like that's severely dehydrated.
What are you gonna say, Dix?
What do you celebrate then, since you do all the cutting right before the weigh-in? Do you have a certain celebratory meal or drinks that you go with?
Oh, it's more drinks. When you get that level of thirst, all you can think about is drinking. So you just Gatorade, coconut water, and everything.
Hey,
not what I was looking
hey!
for.
No free ads. They don't sponsor you. You don't say any of that. Who are you? Who's your sponsor? Who's on the trunks?
Well, they don't let us have any anymore.
What?
It's Reebok. That's
yeah.
it.
I didn't
wear
know
Reebok.
that. So UFC.
You didn't know that? UFC did that. Yeah, they you only can have Reebok. That's it.
That was a big deal too, right? Guys losing their private sponsorships.
Yeah, money out of the pocket.
Oh my God! Would you like to say anything?
No.
Or would you like to make an official statement about that, Ben, so we can piss off Dana White a little bit more?
Would you put
Yeah,
Discraft
no
on your trunks?
Well, I see where I got screwed is the way that Reebok pays you in the UFC is based on the amount of fights you have in the UFC.
Oh
So
my
I come
God!
in as, a
Rookie
veteran, and
man.
I get paid like I'm a freaking beginner. Terrible.
What happened in the no contest?
The guy, I actually poked him in the eye, and he faked like he couldn't continue.
Yeah,
Seems to happen
happens a lot.
I would-
Russian?
Hey, I can't blame him. I just
He was Brazilian, but yeah, those Russians are sneaky, aren't they?
Because they're just the Russians of the South.
Hey, do you even train wrestling in your camps because you're so and I would say you're probably the most dominant
Yeah.
wrestler they have seen in a long time, probably since Dan Henderson and Randy Couture were throwing people around. But do you even have to train in that aspect anymore? Or is it pretty much all stand up?
Well, I do a lot of mixed martial arts training. Where it's we're not going. I got good partners, so we're not like fighting, but we're kind of doing everything at once. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you're still
Like,
still
we'll
working
roll it
submission
all
defense
together.
and stuff like that. But you don't worry. You don't
Yeah.
even sweat having to. You can take anybody down anytime you want, right? Like that
Yeah.
going
So
in.
we don't do. I don't really do too much like straight wrestling. Nah, but like mixed martial arts, punches into takedowns into submissions, those kind of things.
Ryan Bader, whenever he was fighting Matreon, said he heard Matreon was training wrestling and said it was the dumbest thing he could have ever done in his entire life. I think that's.
He said that.
Yeah, he actually did say that. On our show, I think he said it. He said I heard that Matreon might be training wrestling. That's the dumbest thing he could have ever thought about in his life because I've been doing this my entire life. I think that's where
Yeah.
Todd was probably asking that from.
Yeah, I just think it's a huge advantage. Like when, especially as someone as dominant as you are, everybody else has to work to keep you from taking them down. So they probably spend a huge amount of their camp just practicing that takedown defense.
What about what about the flying knee when you go shooting in? Is there any thought of a potential flying knee right to the face?
Yeah. It's all about timing. It's all about time. It's a timing thing, right? You gotta, and that's kind of what you're practicing. If you're a good wrestler, you're practicing your timing, because that's when you're, when you can really catch people on the takedowns. If they time, if you're a defensive guy and you time their shot really well, you can knee them, or you can uppercut them, or you can sprawl and get out of there. So it's a huge timing issue.
You got good rhythm? You got good rhythm over there? You a dancer, huh? Tear down a couple.
Well, I've only got kneed once, so it ain't too bad.
What's your celebration after you win? Are you just very casual, or do you jump on top of the cage, do the yell? Do you do a point at a camera and yell? Everybody seems to yell after they win. I would too.
I've never jumped on the cage. You know what? Actually, I realized about halfway. I didn't celebrate the last one. It was in madness, so I was distracted. But I did realize halfway through my career that one of the main things they show in the promos for the next fight is the guy's celebration. So then after everyone fights, I try to do some dumbass celebration. But you'd be shocked. They put them everywhere.
What's the hardest you've ever been hit? Like, do you ever? Is there moments?
Saturday night.
Yeah. Your face looked like.
Did you guys watch it?
Yeah, I did watch it. But your face looked like.
Killed me for about 10 seconds there.
Well, that has to feel good though. You can take a shot like that and just keep it moving. No worries at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He got my arm. In that slam. He got my arm trapped behind my back. So I got put in a terrible position, and I couldn't really. It was really hard for me to defend myself because I was kind of had the one arm trapped underneath me, and he was behind me. So man, I had to take some really hard shots there before I was able to escape that.
Have you ever taken any shots like that? And was that ever a question in the camp? Like, hey, if you're going to get one to the face, because I assume a lot of fighters before they get shot, you don't know if you have a good chin, right? Until you get a good shot, you have no idea. Have you ever had a situation like that before in your undefeated run?
That would be the worst. That would have been the worst one. I took a few knees and other things, but I did a 23andMe DNA test. The only thing exciting that came back was that I have more Neanderthal than 99% of the
population. We talk about that all the time.
Probably just Bat Mitrione's higher than me.
Him and Brock, bro. Him and Brock Lesnar are both fucking Neanderthals for sure. For sure. Would you ever get in WWE? Are you a fan of WWE?
I think I'm too old for that now. I mean, I would love to do it like once or twice, but I could travel on the road all the time. Those guys got crazy schedules.
That is very, very true. All right, we got a little segment called The Room Wants to Know. The boys here will ask you a question each. Basically, we're trying to get quotes from you to market this show.
I love this section because this is where you guys get me to say something stupid and then put it all over the headlines.
That is correct. That is correct. The first guy was the guy that asked you a question, big-time MMA fan, former amateur jiu-jitsu champion, I believe, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
White belt.
Wow, white belt. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Brown belt some days if he's wearing blue. Ladies and gentlemen, Todd McComas.
Hey, Ben, I want to know from you, like when you're outside, because I know you have this crazy training schedule and you've really done that your whole life. When you get time to relax, who's the one person you grab to go spend a day, and what are you doing?
Oh, well, I'd probably be my wife and kids now, and I would probably talk them into playing some disc golf. That's my relaxation, man, all day long. Throw some disc golf.
How old are your kids?
I got 6, 3, and 1, so I'm busy.
Oh, jeez, you're playing. That's a full court presser. I mean, that's a 3-man zone. Next guy is Italian from Pittsburgh. Knows next to nothing about fighting. I think pretty accurate, Diggs.
No, inaccurate.
Password is armbar.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. loves fighting. His password.
Mean armbar.
Yeah, Diggs is his name.
Listen, Ben, you've got an incredible head of lettuce on you.
Yep, you do.
What do you go? Perm, nice frizzy hairspray. What are we dealing with here? Because I got a sort of an issue going on.
Yeah, that's understatement.
What's your issue?
It's falling out.
It's a fucking Houdini operation going on up there.
So do you perm? What's going on?
No, I get actually curly hair. I can't. This is what God dealt me. So this is what I'm rocking.
You kind of
since about 16 years old.
You kind of look like if Lil Dicky went to the gym for the next 7 days for the next year. That's kind of what you look like, to be honest.
Oh man, I'm gonna come in the studio next time.
Hey,
No, that was a good thing. That was a good thing. That was a compliment. That was a compliment.
Please do. Armbar.
That was a compliment. That was a compliment.
Ben, what is your favorite type of music? What do you listen to? What's your walkout song? Has it always been the same?
My walkout song has been the same since my sophomore year of college. It's "Give Up the Funk" by George Clinton.
Oh, boy.
But that's kind of my theme song. And then I'd say my favorite band of all time. And I listen to a lot of things, but my favorite band is my Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
You guys are good.
Thank you. We try to make you feel comfortable and welcome. Next guy, he did a 23andMe and found out he's Irish. He's always been a big pro-Italian guy, kind of a kick in the dick for him. No contest, 23andMe, Nick Maroto.
3.8% Irish, right? Let's calm down. Ben, did you beat McGregor's ass or what?
Okay.
Can I be whose ass?
McGregor.
Oh, he sucks.
Oh, that's a wild statement. That was exactly what the purpose of this entire segment was, for you to say something along those lines. Why is
But
that?
he's terrible, and he knows he would never say yes to fighting me. It'll be like the worst night he's ever had.
Let's
Whoa.
go.
Hey.
Okay, here's my question. Was he an elite fighter at one point, and then once you get $100 million, it's hard to be committed to waking up at 5 a.m. and rolling for 2 hours, then
Yeah.
sweating? Is that the case?
I think that's a big part of it, and I think the other part of it is he's very, very elite at a couple things, but once you figure out a skill set, and if you have a skill set like Khabib, then man, that's a tough road to hoe for him. And then when you're making $100 million, and you don't want to train or be in shape, it's even tougher.
What about Jones?
What about John
If you had to
Jones?
meet him in a catchweight, can you beat him?
Jones is gigantic. See how big he is? He's an animal.
That's a good idea, by the way. I like what you said. I thought maybe you were just going to saw down everybody, though. I was really excited for the promotion of this
I
podcast.
challenged John Jones to best of 5 takedowns. I think he thought I was fucking with him, but I'm serious. I want to wrestle him.
All right.
Okay, I like that a lot. By the way, I have an in with the Jones family. I played with his brother Arthur, Art Jones.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I could probably.
I think he was at the fight.
He was. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's D-tackle. He's a big boy.
Well, but who Art and what's the other one? What's the other
Chandler.
brother's name? Because they both played in the NFL.
Chandler.
Chandler. I think it was Art. It was Art that was there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he was flexing on the IG. He's really proud of John, as he should be, by the way. The whole family should be. Next
Yeah.
question's from a guy from
I think they're twins, aren't they? Just not identical.
Oh, I don't know that, actually. You might know more than me.
I believe they were in high school. They graduated high school in the same year. I believe they're twins.
Did you live in Asia when you were fighting for one, or were you flying back and forth?
No, I'd go over there for 2 weeks at a time.
I was about to say, because the entertainment over TV is tough. So I was like, did you just study the internet all the time? That's how you know these types of facts. I didn't know. I was interested.
Yep.
All right. Next guy's name is Jeffrey Gorman. Handsome older man.
Ben, you're crazy like a fox. I like that about you. But let's go back to Missouri. Let's go to the Olympic career, and let's go to 19-0 professional career. What's the worst injury you've had that you've walked into the ring with?
Man, none really. I've been super healthy. The only thing I really had, I had when I was 16 and then again in college, I had some neck issues where I was losing strength in my left arm, but I got that solved, and I haven't really been hurt barely at all.
Let's go.
Fair enough.
He's a health machine. Man.
Iron
He's
Man.
Neanderthal.
Yeah.
By the way,
Neanderthal, that's what it is. It's Neanderthal gene.
I'm happy that you went back to like literally his entire life.
Well, I just went back to I just started in Missouri. A lot of good fights there, and an Olympic, then professional. He's like, no, you're an idiot. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Next guy is he's a dum-dum, like you mentioned earlier. He's from Chicago. His name's Zito. Good luck with this.
Hey, Mr. Funky. How disrespectful is it when you put someone in a Saturday night ride?
Disrespectful. Like, are we in a wrestling match or are we on the street?
Hold on.
Wrestling
Just
match.
hold on, Ben. You had a podcast
That's a move. That's a real move. I don't know That's not disrespectful. You're trying to pin them.
What the fuck
Now,
is a
if it was
Saturday
on the
Night
street
Ride?
It's the
and
most
you were just
disrespectful
holding them
move of all
down,
time in
that
WWE
might
and
be an
wrestling.
issue.
Why do you think it's a disrespectful move?
Why do you think it's disrespectful, Zito? Tell the man to his face, ear, that why you think it's
Are
disrespectful.
you a Saturday Night Ride guy?
He didn't.
If I gotta be.
What is a Saturday
So
Night
you
Ride?
basically lay on top of them, you spread their
Saturday
legs
Night
out.
Ride is, okay, let me
There you
explain it. When you say you're pinning someone, you have them in their back. One of the ways they can get off their back is by digging their feet into that and bridging. You know, like they bridge up on their head to bust you off, essentially.
Uh-huh.
Well, a Saturday Night Ride is when you step over both their legs and then you hook them and you essentially take their legs out from underneath them. And it might look like a position that you could also find yourself in with a female on a Saturday night.
Cowgirl. Got it. So this is cowgirl? Is that what we're doing?
Basically, yeah.
You got to do what you got to
Yeah,
do.
there you go.
Hey, you wrestlers do find yourself in precarious situations on a very regular basis. The mental toughness is next level.
That's funny.
It's true though. And I was what's it called? Rolling.
Rolling. Mm-hmm.
I was rolling with the guys here in Indianapolis. They have this gritty fucking basement dungeon that they train in. And I was rolling with them, and I never wrestled in high school. So I wasn't comfortable with the people, how close they were and their body on top of me. That was something I really had to get used to. I feel like that's quite an advantage that wrestlers have going into MMA. That's something that you guys are just used to literally since you're fucking kids. Just people laying on your face. It's next level.
Yeah, that's funny because I don't think twice about it.
Yeah, put it right there. Next guy's a huge Patriots fan. He's the worst. I don't know how you sit in football. His name's Connor.
Hey, Ben, you've won at every level from high school to the pros. Is there one match that stands out as the toughest?
There we go.
Well, there's always, I always say there's four things where I like that are my proudest moments. That would be winning my first high school state title, winning my first college national title, earning my college scholarship, and making the Olympic team. So those four things were like many, many, many years worth of work all piled into one moment.
You become UFC champion. Will that become a fifth night?
I would say that'd be number 5, yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Are we officially invited to that after party, by the way? Is
About
that
the birth of your
Yeah,
children.
well, you're invited to all my after parties.
Let's go.
okay? I like that a lot. He meant
Except the
professional.
Italian guy. He sounds too wild.
Yeah, well, he also just took a shot at you for not mentioning your children there. That was him. Yeah, he should not be invited.
They're number 6.
Yeah. Next guy's from Iowa, Midwestern boy, Ty.
Hey, Ben, so I know like you were thinking about the whole GSP thing, maybe fighting him, and then he retired. That kind of fell through. Who's one guy who you would love the opportunity to knock his teeth out?
Well, I think GSP. Listen, I think GSP is still on the table. I think that was some kind of next level negotiating tactic because he maybe wasn't getting what he wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
business.
think he wanted to get Beeb fight, and maybe they wouldn't give him the right terms or something, and so he just wanted to give him the middle finger publicly. So I think that one's still on the table, and he's been a legend. He's someone I grew up watching. That's someone that I would love to fight if I got the opportunity.
Would you think about? No, I know. Take a second to think about this because I don't want you to get yourself in any shit here. But if Steven Seagal wanted to fight you, would you?
Did you say Steven Seagal?
Yeah. Would you say no publicly or privately? Because
that's hilarious. Steven Seagal has somehow been able to pull the wool over people's eyes for the last 30 years.
It's incredible.
Inference that he can actually fight people is hilarious.
Preach, Ben. Preach.
hey, we have a guy, that old guy that asked you the question about earlier. He has publicly stated that he wants to fight Steven Seagal for being a big phony his entire career. It's him.
Yeah.
Right here.
Oh my gosh. I'd pay to
liar.
watch. I'm in. I'm buying the pay-per-view.
I think that's all we need to tell Seagal, right? If we just tell him there's a little bit of cash involved, that guy is in. Last question is from a kid from Michigan. Very handsome fella. Know that that's coming from this. Evan Fox.
Ben, I just want to know how you got your nickname.
The song.
Funky?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of, I don't know if I say created is the right word, but I kind of brought to life this new style of wrestling
Oh, okay.
in college that everyone called the funk. And so one of my buddies made this shirt and had my picture on it that said funky. And then, we were broke-ass college kids, so we sold those thousands of them that summer. And it stuck.
That's an NCAA violation, Ben. That is an NCAA violation. You're going to get that championship fucking yanked from you.
Reggie pushed.
They can't trace the cash.
Hey, Ben, we thank you so much. You're the coolest dude I think I've never heard of before until now. I am so thankful. I can't wait to watch you continue this run here. Whatever you do, man, I would love to be in a steady rotation whenever you hit the media outlets. That'd be an honor of ours.
All right. That's awesome. Yeah, hopefully you guys... I'm hoping to fight June 8th in Chicago, so maybe you guys post the after party.
We're coming. We're coming.
Yep.
If
All
you're
right.
June 8th in
Awesome.
Chicago,
Thanks,
ladies and gentlemen, Ben Askren. All right.
Yeah.